How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, it's time to review the Black Balisong Reaper prototype. So, let's go ahead and jump right in. So, the Black Balisong's Reaper is the newest production knife from Black Balisong, and I must admit, this thing is an eye catcher. It looks really freaking good. However, I do have some small complaints in the design that I will get to in a minute, but this is the next production knife, and this one specifically is a prototype, and there are only 10 made. And there aren't that many differences between the prototypes and the production ones. The really big difference is that there is a 2 of 10 production number on the blade and also some scribing inside the handles that say it's a prototype as well. The Reaper comes in this completely unmarked pouch, which is weird. There's no brand on it, but at the same time is cool considering their last knife I bought from them didn't come with one. Next thing I want to talk about is the grip on this knife. The grip is provided by these milled lines on the handles, and they are absolutely killer. Not only are they aesthetically pleasing, but they're also very functional to provide maximum amount of grip to the handles as possible. Really good job on this. A big change for the Reaper is the M3090 blade steel. Normally Black Balisong uses D2 steel, but this time they changed it up for the higher price point. They also use latchless spacers as well as titanium sandwich construction handles. One of my least favorite things about this knife is the hardware situation. T8s for the main pivots and T6s for the body screws near the spacers. I don't think there's really anyone other than Black Balisong that's actually using these T6 body screws on a mainstream knife. I mean, it's a bit disappointing, especially at this higher price point, because I paid $450 for this and I kind of expected there to be a bit higher quality hardware going on. Just a bit disappointing to see. One thing that isn't disappointing though is the sound of this knife. It is absolutely killer. Just take a listen to it. The performance of the Reaper was actually very surprising. I expected this knife to be very blade heavy and kind of uncontrollable, but this knife was actually surprisingly neutral and pretty fun to play with. It did have a slight amount of blade bias though, so if you don't like blade bias, this might not be for you. This knife though is very fun to play with, and the sound is very satisfying. The Zen pins are also hidden Zen pins, which in my opinion is the best type. So they weren't necessarily annoying, but they're also very tactile. One thing though that I kept on noticing was how thin this knife was. And here's just again a little picture of the machine finish, but in a minute I'll show you guys kind of a comparison side by side with a Mako. And you can really already tell right now how thin this is. And it really is thin. When you put this in your hands, you can kind of feel how thin this is. But for those of you who like thin knives like this, you will like this because it's actually very nice for fanning or any kind of fan trick in general. It's very satisfying to flip. You can see right now I'm putting it side by side with the Mako, and you probably can't tell, but it is just a bit thicker in my personal opinion. And yeah, it's just very thin, kind of something I kept noticing while flipping this knife. Just my opinion though, if you do like those kinds of knives, you might like it. One thing that was also pretty neat was the jimping on the latchless spacers, and there is. It's a very small amount, but it's also very fine and very rough. So when doing ladders, you sort of catch your fingers on it. And I thought it was at the wrong place for it, but it caught my fingers very easily and I kept grip quite well. So nice job on that placement. My final thoughts of the Black Balisong's Reaper. I ended up selling this knife because I needed cash for taxes coming up, so that's the main reason I sold it. But I really didn't like this knife and I was very hesitant to sell it, but ultimately I have to pay the government somehow, so I might as well sell something that I very much enjoyed, which is sad. But I do have a small gripe though in the design, which isn't like, you know, I'm not dissing or anything, but I wish Black Balisong would change up the style of blades. I mean, they've been doing these harpoon kukri blades for such a long time now. I would really love to see a Bowie or a Tonto, especially on this knife, Just my thoughts at least. Put down in the comment section if you ever thought that as well, because I feel like someone else may have talked to me about it before, but just kind of my thoughts on that specifically. Overall, I think this knife is great, and I really do suggest you guys go ahead and get this, especially since the ones your guys are going to buy are cheaper than the one I actually bought. I bought mine for $450 since it's a prototype, but the production ones are going to be $350, so it's an even better deal. So I definitely do suggest that you go buy one of these. Like, when the next drop comes out, if you're willing to spend the cash, go buy it. You're really going to find a knife that you like. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a review. More reviews coming soon. Got the Medusa and the Fly Tie Balisong Z coming soon. So be prepared for that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.